various taxes that are actually affecting the small-scale persons who will really go for these particular loans. And I want to thank the President because of his commitment to the hustlers, the so-called Fuliza, for which has been hurting our people most. Some action has already been taken. I'm also seeing some action is being taken by Cooperative Bank of Kenya, lowering some interests and appealing to persons to go for their loans at affordable rates. Mr. Speaker, or Madam Speaker, sorry. The other thing that also took me with a lot of interest is the NHIF, Madam Speaker. When you look at NHIF, the way it operates, most of the people who are really paying a lot of money, in my opinion, is like the hustler. Because when it comes to me, who is earning, and most of this what these MPs are earning anyway, we are earning over $1 million. And what we are paying for over $1 million, what we are paying for NHIF is 1,700 every month. But the hustler is required to pay 500 shillings every month. When you look at the rate the hustler is paying, which is 500 shillings, you compare with what I'm paying, which is 1,700, it's actually the hustler who is paying a lot of money. Madam Speaker, this is a step in the right direction where we actually contribute to this depending on how much we are earning, so that the rich, the well-up persons like ourselves, can contribute more so as to carry these people who are really even relying on us to help them in terms of medication, to help us in so many things to do with their health. But Madam Speaker, something that I might also want this NHIF to do is currently what happened with the usual hustlers. They are restricted to only one medical facility. For example, me, I have employees whose families are in the rural and themselves work here. But Madam Speaker, they are restricted to only one facility. So now the question is, when the one I'm working with falls sick, you know, he has now to travel all the way to up country. And interestingly, now NHIF is, for example, looks like it's for the well-up persons who have a lot of influence. When us fall sick, we go to any hospital as listed by our insurance companies. The NHIF normally follows us there to take care of our medical expenses. But how come, when it comes to the common mwananchi, they are restricting them to a particular facility, which is only one, instead of having several of them, because this is what it is. It's a national, we're talking of universal health care to all Kenyans. If we restrict them to one facility, then we're also being restrictive to these particular persons. Madam Speaker, what is also of interest is the Hustler Fund. And I would argue that probably we have come to a stage where we have to harmonize these funds. You know, Weso Fund, Youth Enterprise Fund, all those that they come into one fund that can be useful to our people. Madam Speaker, our experience, or my experience, when it comes to group workings, it varies from one community to another community. I've realized that when it comes to Weso Fund, which goes to groups, the issue of formation of groups is a challenge somehow to most of our youth, to most of our women. I would argue that when it comes to the Hustler Fund, and together they merge with Weso Fund, we individualize these funds so that we're talking of individuals who take these funds and they become responsible by themselves. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want to applaud the President for choosing most of the cabinet from here. The last government collapsed because of the so-called technocrats, CSS, who did not have the feel of the people who put them into government. They were so rigid in terms of their operations, but I want to thank the President for choosing persons who have tested politics, who know what politics is all about, persons who will open their doors to the sitting MPs to access them for the sake of the persons who have actually sent them to Parliament. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I register my thanks to the President's speech.
Thank you, Member for Malava. We now go to Member for Imwar Dikir. Honorable Johanna Ngeno.
Thank you, Madam